Never before in all our history have these forces been so united against one candidate as they stand today. They are unanimous in their hate for me, and I welcome their hatred.
The needs of working families and the middle class, not just the billionaire class. We know what's going on. We are paying attention.
Happy Saturday, everybody. Happy Saturday. It is... No, don't you start again. We got a busy day. We got a lot of stuff going on. There's a thing happening right after this in Portland for PCPs. But it's not just for Oregon PCPs, it's for everybody. And we're going to talk a little bit more about that. Thank you all for being here. Good morning. The cover was a nice little Oregon... That's a Pacific Northwest tree frog. Although he was just on a fern leaf right outside the door here, and they're really tiny. They're tiny little things. Tiny, they fit on your finger. That's how small they are. They're amazing, and they blend so beautifully in with the leaves. Yet, once you look, you realize they stand out too. It's just amazing. It made me think of progressives taking over the Democratic Party, right? We're apart, but we're not. And that's anyway.
Loud in proportion to our size.
Yes, I didn't have your audio on, but they heard most of that. Good morning, Laura.
As I recall from when I camped out in your orchard last summer, those tiny little frogs can be very, very loud, especially when they are sitting in the grapevine right above your head.
Yes. Oh my God, they are so loud. They are very loud.
So another analogy to progressives. Okay, we might be tiny and we might be very green, but we can be very loud when we want to.
They are. They're as loud as any damn bullfrog you got elsewhere. I mean, they're just ridiculously loud.
And they travel in packs, too.
Yeah. I don't know if they do that. The frogs are more solitary. Good morning, Markus. Good morning, Laura. And
Laura. Good
Melissa.
morning,
Darcy. Lynn Vermont. Kendra, how you doing? Miss K. Smith. DJ. We got a lot of people here. Good morning, everybody. Jesse, how are you? You've been hanging out since the beginning there.
Nice.
Good morning. And
no, I did not plan my outfit to coordinate with the card, but sometimes it just works out that way.
And thank you. I was happy about that slide too. Or it's a nice.
After the last few weeks, it's kind of nice to have something peaceful. Yes. So thank you.
I did pick that on purpose.
Yeah.
Live streams. There's it again. I don't know why the thing keeps starting. So there's been some updates. Let's see if I can get this shifted over here. Hang on. There's been some updates. Not only with technology. Livestream Studio did a major update, but I rebuilt Eileen 1, the server, and then there's some audio rerouting that's happened that's changed things, and I'm still learning how to do the system with the new changes, and so that's why not like my production skills were great before. That's why it's even worse than it has been. So I just wanted to let y'all know what was going on there. School is almost out for summer, says Darcy. Yes, this is very true. This is very true. So let's see, what are we gonna say? We talk about the card, and then what's going on right after this is the DPO event. Let me get that. I gotta get the slide here. There it is. I was talking about this. Precinct committee persons or precinct committee officers. I guess they have different names for them, depending on what's going on. So Larry Taylor and Amy Fox? I think that's her name. They're going to talk about the roles and responsibilities of precinct committee people who actually have the power to control the people in the Democratic Party, because you are the ones that vote. And I got all sorts of crazy things going on with computers right now. What the hell's going on with that? It's a Saturday. Anyway, Ashley Terry is on his way up to Portland right now to meet Larry, and they are going to set up our live stream studio. They're going to use the Solo, and they're going to connect directly to the internet connection at the Sunnyside Community House, and we're going to broadcast a couple cameras from there. We're going to start a pre-show here. Hopefully, we're running at about 2:30, and we'll have a reporter and a camera on site. We'll do some interviews with some people that are there, just talk about what's going on. And then the event will start at 3 and we'll run till 4:30, and then we'll wrap it up after that. And so join us for that. And this is really cross state lines. This isn't just for people in Oregon. This is the information is going to be general for everybody, all PCPs, so anyway. Hey Barbara, how you doing? Bernie's fighting for Disneyland employees. Yes, DJ Dialogue, he is. I saw that. Anyway. What else is going on? California primary, that's next, Laura Livengood?
Yes, we have the California primary on Tuesday, and that is a huge, big deal. That is a Super Tuesday. We've got lots of races going on there, but we will be covering California returns mainly. I've just been chatting with Eddie in Slack, and he works with PullRev Live, and they're going to be doing a broadcast of returns with aligned with Reddit. So I definitely want to keep them looped in to cover the returns in California, especially. So I just added him to our channel there. So that'll be great. But we've got a lot of, we'll talk a little bit. Are we going right into that? Is that our next? Hold on.
What are we going to do? I don't know. I'm sitting there looking at, apparently Bernie's talking right now. But here, let's talk about the rest. So there.
Okay. So these are some of the races. I pulled these slides over from my Progressive California slides this morning. So these are not necessarily all people that we have interviewed, but the ones we know about. So for the statewide races, we are looking at Josh Jones and Delane Easton running for governor. Of course, Gail McLaughlin, who is really doing well in the race from what I hear from Adriel. And Lieutenant Governor, David Hildebrand and Allison Hartson for U.S. Senate, and Reuben Major, Michael Feinstein, and Eric Rydberg for Secretary of State. And these actually all are people that we have interviewed. Then in the California congressional races, the regional ones, we've got a couple of slides there. Andy Caffrey. This is in the order of district. Rosa Calderon, Jason Kishinev, Nils Paulson, Stephen Jaffe, Shahid Buttar, Ryan Kojasti for CD12. That's going to be a race we'll be watching really closely. Really, the Dianne Feinstein race, Senate, the Pelosi race, and the lieutenant governor ones are the major ones we're focusing on, but we are going to be bopping through results for anything that we can find in California as we go through it in our usual detailed way. And Joseph will be, Sakata will be here as well, doing return tracking and news jacking and all those types of things. So this is Tuesday night, starting around 7:30, I think. And we promised John we will not keep him up too late. So we'll go a couple hours at least though, and all get a chance to hang out together and share results. And as always, everybody in chat, welcome to come in and help us with fact finding and results reporting, and tell it to your friends if they want a place to watch the returns for Progressive Candidates on Tuesday. It's going to be a biggie.
Awesome. Thank you.
Oh, and now, you know what? One more. Slide 8. These are some, I'm going to go right into Progressive California tomorrow. We are working with Freeman Michaels, who was a candidate for down in San Diego. Was not able to get on the ballot because of some signature issues, shenanigans, where have we heard that before? But he's going to be helping us, and he has several other new candidates. Danielle St. John, who's running in Congressional District 49. Genevieve Jones-Wright, who is running for DA in San Diego, and Steve Cox, who's running in CD 39. So there are other people that are going to be coming in, making some hopefully some brief recorded statements, or at least we will report about them. And anybody else that we may have missed during the year that we've been doing these interviews on We the People. We've covered a lot, but by no means everyone. And so that's mainly, we'll be doing a cleanup primary preview on Sunday night for Progressive California along those lines.
Awesome. So while you were doing that, and I was doing a poor job leaving things on the screen and off the screen, I pulled up the Facebook feed that they were talking about where Bernie Sanders is supposed to be speaking here in a moment, and right now it's somebody with it's somebody else is speaking. If I do see Bernie get up there and speak, I'm happy to swap it over and we'll catch us a little Bern.
We could all use a little Bernie.
It's been a while since we've listened to some live Bern, you know. I need to feel the Bern again.
Yeah.
Super Tuesday, Cal. Yahoo, says Barbara. Absolutely. Absolutely.
We're hoping for some wins.
Where is Bernie today? I think he's in Disneyland.
He's in yeah, they're doing I think that's where Joseph is today. He wanted to go see that, so I think that's where he's going to try and see Bernie today.
Yeah.
First time.
Yeah. There he is. He's sitting in here.
Yeah.
He's sitting in the back. They were showing him. You can see him back there. Of course, you can't because I'm not pulling up the shot because I'm not fast enough. Hang on. Is this Bernie? I think this is Bern. All right. We'll just swap over and
Here we go.
let me see if I can get a decent shot on him.
Sweet.
There we go.
Well, let me thank you all for inviting me to be with you today. And what I want to say to you is that the struggle that you are waging here in Anaheim is not just for you. It is a struggle for millions of workers all across this country who are sick and tired of working longer hours for lower wages, sick and tired of not being able to find decent housing they can afford, sick and tired of not having adequate health care. And what you are saying, what I am saying, and what people all over this country are saying is that the time is now to have an economy that works for all of us, not just a handful of billionaires. Right now in America, and you're seeing this at the Disney Corporation, manifestation of this, we have more income and wealth inequality than in any time since the 1920s. What Jennifer was saying about her grandparents is absolutely correct. There was once a time in America that one person in a family could work 40 hours a week and make enough money to take care of the family's needs. One person. But today, while the rich are becoming much richer, we're seeing mom working and dad working, kids working incredible hours, and they still don't have enough money for basic family needs. And what we are saying today is that is going to change. Brothers and sisters, in America today, the three wealthiest people own more wealth than the bottom half of the American people. While American workers have seen their compensation stagnate over the last 40 years, corporate CEOs have seen their incomes go up by 937%. And here is the bottom line at Disney. if a corporation like Disney has enough money to pay its CEO over $400 million in a 4-year period, it damn well has enough money to pay its workers at least $15 an hour right now. When we talk about Disney, we are talking about an enormously profitable corporation worth somewhere in the neighborhood of $150 billion. We are talking about a company that made $9 billion in profits last year. We are talking about a company that has taken much of its manufacturing to China, where people are working at abysmally low wages. We are talking about a company that has utilized the H-1B guest worker program to fire high-tech American employees and replace them with low-wage workers from abroad. We are talking about a company that has received huge tax breaks from the taxpayers here in Anaheim, but in addition to that, received over $1 billion in tax breaks from Trump's tax giveaway to the wealthy. Brothers and sisters, what we are talking about today is not complicated. What we are talking about is a company like Disney, which is an iconic company where its characters, and I know you do so much work, so much hard work to spread the joy that Disney characters give to children. What we're saying today to Disney is have the courage to be a company. You talk about being a family-oriented company. Well, we got families right here. And what we are saying to Disney is that a time of massive income and wealth inequality, at a time when so many people are struggling to put food on the table, to get health care or affordable housing, Disney can lead this country in ending the type of corporate greed which is causing so much pain from coast to coast. And if Disney does the right thing and sits down with the unions and negotiates a serious contract which starts off at $15 an hour right now, which starts off with decent health care and other benefits for workers, which respects the fact that people need stable schedules and cannot be asked to work anytime for any reason. If Disney can become a company which treats its workers with respect and dignity, Disney can become the company we all know that it can and should become. Disney cannot be a company which forces its employees into part-time work when they need and deserve a full-time job. Disney has got to understand that its employees are not teenagers, that the vast majority of employees here are workers, many with families. You know, on a personal note, turns out that when I was mayor of the city of Burlington a long, long time ago, Disney did a very decent thing. And in order to celebrate one of their anniversaries, they invited a lot of low-income kids from my city and kids all over the country to go to Disney World in Florida. And I remember that. It was a very decent thing. And some of you may know that just the other day, Bob Iger did another decent thing. When one of their lead programs had an actress who made racist comments, at financial cost to the company, they said, racism is not acceptable. We're going to end that program. And I respect that. And so what I say to Mr. Iger right now, you have the opportunity now to do something else that is enormously important. You have the opportunity to help lead corporate America away from the greed which is destroying this country. And you have the opportunity to create a company that works for all of its workers so that those workers can go and do the difficult and important work and wonderful work they do for the kids and for the families. They go to work with pride and with joy. Not having to worry whether they can afford health care for their kids or a home in which to live. So I say to Bob Iger, you are at a moment in history where you can help not only your own workers, but workers all over this country, and say that in America, if somebody works 40 hours a week, that person should not be living in poverty. And Mr. Iger can tell corporate America that he believes that health care is a right of all workers, not just a privilege. Now, what you are doing is standing up and fighting for justice. And what every person here knows who knows anything about American history is that real change in this country never takes place from the top on down. It always takes place at the grassroots level on up. And what you know, and what the trade union movement has always known, is that when we stand together, that is when we win. And that is the history of the trade union movement, the history of the civil rights movement, the history of the women's movement, the history of the gay movement, the history of any movement that has brought real change to this country. So our job now is to stand together here in Anaheim. Our job is to lead workers all over this country to do exactly what you are doing, is to stand up for justice and dignity and demand living wages and decent benefits. So know this, that millions of people all over this country are watching you, are praying for you, and are respecting immensely your willingness to stand up and fight back. Because standing up and fighting back is what America is about. And when you succeed all over this country, other workers will succeed as well. So thank you all very much for what you're doing. Thank you.
I'm going to stop it there because I got me enough of that Bernie going on there. That was great.
Oh, it's just like the old days. How nice.
I wonder what Disney figure Bernie would be, you know? Can you help me? Anyone?
Ursula.
Who?
Ursula from Little Mermaid.
Okay.
Yeah, probably.
You'd be perfect in that.
You would be. So I don't know who it was in the audience. What is going on? There's something weird going on with the audio here. Run through. I don't know why. Again, I told you there was some problems, but it's definitely like making my voice a lot quieter than it should be, and I keep trying to adjust for it. It's not working. So sorry, you guys. Whoever said
it's okay if you talk right in the mic.
I'm talking right in the mic.
Yeah, that's fine.
I should.
Yeah. As soon as you turn away, though, it goes soft.
Yeah, I don't know exactly. I don't know what's going on here. It's just weird stuff with the Zoom. That was a nice, unexpected Bernie moment. Yeah. You know?
Yeah.
That's
absolutely.
And yes, we are all re-energized. Disney has pissed off Obi-Wan Bernobi. Nice. Yeah. Somebody said he's running in 2020. I would say so. It sure looks like it.
Oh, Bernobi.
Do you think these are preemptive 2020 speeches?
You know what? He doesn't do anything without a reason.
Yes. Agreed.
And you know what? I think he still knows that he can lend his voice and his name to something and people will see it. I mean,
yeah.
We all understand what's going on at Disney. So
Agree.
Yeah.
All right then. That was exciting.
Yeah. Whew.
So now we only got a half hour really to talk about any of the other stuff. So we talked a little about California primaries, which you'll be doing more of on Tuesday.
Yeah, let's talk about Progressive Oregon and with We the People.
All right. Well, so the We the People, that's what's next, right? No, wait. What do we got next?
The Progressive Oregon.
Markus?
Progressive Oregon, yes. Right. Yes, Larry had a group of young people, of young activists with him last Sunday. And from the outcome of the Oregon elections, we saw that the younger voters were not coming out to give their vote. And yes, this was a question which was raised. And we have, I chose a short piece of this interview with those activists in which they refer in what reasons they see for this and how this could be changed. And let's hear what they have.
Thinking, I mean, I've heard a lot of people say that they don't vote because they feel it doesn't matter.
Right.
So how do you counter that argument?
Well, I would point to the many elections, particularly in Oregon, where, elections have been won by one vote or, only a few hundred votes. And to me, that is a really valid argument that your vote does matter and you should vote.
Connor, do you have any thoughts on issues that might motivate and engage people under the age of 60?
Yeah, I mean, of course, I can speak for, I'm at the Hood River Valley High School, and, there was a national walkout to protest gun violence, particularly in schools this year, which is, of course, a really important issue, a very an issue that people care deeply about because it's a big problem. It's a tragedy today. And I do think that is going to be one issue that, especially youth who have really been in the midst of this, when they do have the ability to vote, and as we have more people, turning 18 and able to vote in the next few years who have really been affected personally by this, that is going to be something that I think will be a hot key issue in upcoming elections and the one this year.
Is there any activity at this point to translate that activism into actual participation, like registering to vote and casting ballots, or is it still at the beginning of the movement?
Well, yeah, that was one thing we were doing when we were planning the walkout that we thought was particularly important is it's good to express your views and to protest, but that doesn't really help anything if you don't actually vote. So what we did was, at least at Hood River Valley High School, and I've heard in many schools across District 2 in Oregon, there was voter registration pamphlets for everybody that we handed out. So at Hood River Valley High School, we had probably hundreds of kids register to vote. And so I really hope that was a trend, and something we're going to continue to do is making sure people are registering to vote and how important it is, and talking about how important, even a lot of people, like we said, do think one vote doesn't matter, but something that we've seen even in national elections in Europe is when there's high voter turnout overall, it really does make a difference, and things tend to go and reflect, obviously, what I'd say a majority of people wanted. It's when we have really low voter turnout that I think people are kind of confused, and a lot of people end up unhappy.
Kevin, is there any parallel movement in your area?
Well, I'll be completely honest, not really, because in my high school, for example, there's, I'll be honest, there was a movement recently with a Virginity Rock shirt. You might have seen that in the news, where everybody went down and they were really active, but they weren't active really for a cause. It was, I'm sorry, I'm going on a tangent. I'm kind of nervous right now. I will come back to you. I'm sorry.
Okay. So when you talk to people about voting,
is that where you want to kill it, Markus?
Yes,
this
yes.
is something I love.
A little bit before, yeah.
Yeah. So that great kid. He had some good comments later, but that was the first time I think he realized that he was talking live on air, and he freaked his shit.
And I can absolutely feel with him, I know my times when I was sitting there and I was gazing into the camera and didn't have any words, and I know how terrible this feels, and yeah, it happens,
Right. Anyway, that's a good conversation, and it's somebody said they're switched on. It's Miss K. Smith. I think so. Self-censorship was cool. Human. Yeah. A little bit later on, I asked the kids, I asked, look at, you got everybody over 60 voting for you,
Yeah.
That's frightening. Do you really want old people? Old people been voting, making the decisions for decades. Look at where we are. Do you want to live? That's basically my message to anybody under, 60. Do you want to live? So I think they're up. I think they're active. I think the fact that kids now grow up wondering when their school will be shot up.
Yeah.
Yeah. There you go. You're on mute now. Anyway, Mike Freeze. It's called Mike Freeze, says Phil.
Poor guy.
Yeah. Christopher Lloyd took the DeLorean from Twitter. I wish. I wish he would. I wish the DeLorean worked and we could do that.
No, you could go to 2016. Yeah.
Right. Well, yeah.
Jilly has it. Yeah.
I take care of a few other things too. There we go. Now the audio is back. The audio issue is Zoom, guys. Zoom actually does something to overcompensate for whatever it's going on, and it just takes one of the channels and wipes it out. It's just really bizarre what it does. There is nothing we can do about it. Anyway, moving on. And hi, all 34 of you. 34.
Yeah.
Big audience today. What was next, Marcus?
We are coming to a main actor, in my opinion, for Tuesday. Gail McLaughlin, Lieutenant Governor. Hopefully, she will get this office, and I think we should run the piece where she is talking about her campaign, because it's only a few days until it gets tough.
All right. Well, this screen freeze. Look at me. I got Spock eyebrow going on there.
Yeah, you're frightening me, John.
I know. That's all right. Let's hang on. Here we go. What's if you can, just really quick, where are you at in your campaign? And tell us, just give us a recap.
Sure. Yeah. Well, our campaign is doing really, really well. We're bringing progressives together up and down California. We have more engagements on social media than any other statewide candidate.
That's awesome.
We've been reaching millions of voters. We've got, really super volunteers doing the work, texting, phone banking, canvassing, Facebook ads, and people everywhere are getting the word that we need to make this campaign work and get this race to happen, to have me reach one of the top 2 spots so that we could go on to November. And of course, when elected, I'll keep this organizing going so that we can keep coming together as progressive groups, as our revolution groups, as Green Party groups, and all Peace and Freedom Party. All these groups, the Movement for a People's Party, have endorsed me, and many prominent individuals like Ralph Nader and Bill McKibben and former Assembly member Tom Amiano. So we are really gaining the support of the progressive community, and it's growing every day as we get closer to the election. And we think we've got a really, really strong chance of getting in the top 2. And it's so important, and it ties into this situation with ICE, because we need to organize to fight back against these bad policies. And the only way we're going to really pressure the legislature and other executives throughout the state to do the right thing is through a movement, through a people's movement. And, that's what we did in Richmond when I was mayor. We built a local movement to push back. And that's how we made our transformation. So that's what drives me to keep this work going, and hopefully to win this race so that we could keep pushing back on the powers that be, and utilize the lieutenant governor's seat to raise high the issues of the city, like the immigration issue and all the other issues, free public college and Medicare for all and a California public bank. We need to do this collectively as progressives. So yes, we're doing well, and the need is really, really urgent. So that's why I'm working so hard, and our volunteers are working so hard. So we hope that other people see what we're doing and come out on June 5th and cast their vote for me for Lieutenant Governor.
Absolutely. Thank you. Thank you for all. That's fantastic. It really encouraged. All right, there we go. That was nice. I like Gail. Gail's great.
Yeah, she is absolutely fantastic. And as I said, I hope that she will make the first hurdle on Tuesday. And she would be such a great lieutenant governor in California.
It would really appreciate her making some time for us too. She's got a really busy schedule.
Oh yeah.
We recorded this segment earlier in the day on Wednesday because she had an event on Wednesday evening. So especially now as we wind down to the primaries, time is so tight for them, and it's really nice when they come visit us and update us.
Yeah, she's and thank you, Adriel Hampton, for helping to coordinate that, because that was literally set up like I said. I could record it earlier if she's around, and he's like, "She's ready now," and I'm like, "I need 10 minutes," and yeah. So it was,
and your flexibility too, John. I mean, it takes flexibility on both sides to make things happen in the revolution, and that's one of the things we're really good at. Bernie's on, yeah.
Well, yeah, thanks. Well, all of us. And, in that end, what it takes is being basically unemployed and having a spouse that's so incredible that she works a phenomenal job that it pays pretty much all the bills and is supportive enough of you to be doing what you're doing, which is basically what I right?
Yeah.
And so, I mean, you guys, you, the audience, you pay my salary. I, in order to do this, I asked for $500 a month, and that you raise that money. Anything else that goes over that goes back into UHM. I just be perfectly clear. But that's why I'm able to sit here and do this, is because you guys help make that sustainable, and I have a spouse that is willing to, sacrifice a lot of her freedom and a lot of her financial freedom to allow me to do this, and so, and that's with all the volunteers in the organization.
Not to forget a lot of quality time with you, John, right?
Right. Well, that's all in the yard. That's the orchard. We get all that time. But yes, thank you, Marcus.
I find it helps not to have a spouse actually to deal with. That makes being a revolutionary much, much easier.
We're not even going to go down that road with you at all.
Okay.
Anyway, what's next? What's next?
Let's jump over to Washington and the Washington crew. And yesterday's show was very interesting when you guys discussed the advantages or disadvantages of caucuses and primaries. And let's look at what you guys had to say about this. And it was very interesting,
It was. Here we go. Yeah. To jump in on that, like, you guys have a caucus, other states like Oregon just does a primary, thank gosh. Do you really think,
I like the caucus system.
Sounds, yeah, but it just seems like a clusterfuck and unnecessary bullshit when you could just vote.
So, well, how do you elect your delegates? Is that also on the ballot?
Yeah.
So how do you trust and how do you know your delegate?
Go to meetings, find out who the hell they are.
Well, those are meetings
those are meetings
and a
outside.
lot of people do that. A lot of people go to all those meetings.
Well, that's part of the Democratic Party meetings and other stuff, or party. That's absolutely. I wouldn't want to have to go to do a caucus. From what I heard, I realize it's exciting, but I wouldn't want to have to go there and do that and make my decision there. I'd rather just fill out a form, put it in the mail. Thank you.
Well, we do have that process to where if you can't actually show up at the caucus, you can do an
absentee ballot of sorts. It has another name to it. But it doesn't allow you to vote for your delegates. And I do feel like in-person delegate voting is it's an honor and a privilege and a burden. But that way we can know the people who are going to go on to the next level. One of the things in our caucus trainings that we went over was be on the lookout for people who might be saying they're a Bernie delegate, but will go on to the next level and vote for Hillary. So there is concern about that. So I find it to be beneficial to. Yeah.
And there's actually a lot of people who came out of this process who decided to run for office or working on initiatives or local campaigns, or who now have built those skills of standing up in front of people and talking. And I think it's beneficial overall.
Well, the same. And I'm glad, but the same skills are developed by. That happens regardless. I think it's just you give them one big event to do that with, but that's cool. I just a question for the audience. What do you guys think? Caucus or primary?
Actually, I would.
We'll leave it there because I want to know what you guys think. I don't. The caucus, like I said, it sounds fun. It's like going to a circus, but it also seems like a giant waste of time and could just get it done with a primary.
The question would be, for example, in Oregon, if you wouldn't have primaries and caucuses instead, how many of the already a few young voters would show up to a caucus? My question, I think a caucus is a good thing for people who are just like we are political nerds, who get very deep into this, but not for the normal constituent, maybe. This is my impression.
I think it's a good way to see who's active and like you said, the people who are active and engaged, and it brings all those people together in one place so they can meet each other, and that maybe from that experience you get a better sense of how to build unity and a coalition, and you can really, think about a caucus is you're there in the room, you're dividing one side of the room, the other side of the room. It's like a microcosm, at least, of your area, providing that all your delegates are who they say they are and are representing their constituents. Then I think it's a really interesting exercise. I don't know that it takes the place of a primary, but it certainly is a wonderful way to bring everybody together.
Absolutely agreed. Yes, it is. And but you need to be in the topics. You need to know about the issues, and you also need to know who's walking around with what agenda. And you got to dig into this stuff, and then it is perfect, But if you're an average voter, then it's difficult.
So yeah, I mean, for the primary, the people get to do the same thing, go around and you get to know each other. I think the caucus is just more, you're forcing everybody into one place together. Right? Yeah. And I guess for me, based on what we've seen of the mess of our election process, that frightens me. I mean, we saw with the caucuses last, in the 2016, that there was a lot of issues. There was, even though they were exciting, there was people that were questioning the votes. They had to do recounts.
There was good ones and bad ones. Yeah. The good ones were very, very good, and the bad ones were horrid.
Yeah. So. Yeah. Now, my dad went to his. I think it was the first time he'd ever gone to the Colorado one, and he had a blast.
Yeah. The Washington one, I think, was really good.
Yeah, Chad loved the caucus. Chad loves the caucus. He would argue that the primary sucks. So I think it's if you like that kind of thing, you like it. You know what the difference is? And I'm only going to use, let's see, I'm going to generalize sports. Anything you like watching on any sport activity where you could go physically to the field, okay, versus watching on TV. Yeah. When I used to like to watch football, back when I was an Elway fan, back in the old days, right, before he would turn into a Republican dick, I never went and saw a Bronco game at the Bronco Stadium. Well, okay, once. But if you've ever done that, it's freezing and you get shitty seats. You can barely see anything, right? You don't really get a good view when you're at the stadium, but you get the feeling of being at the stadium and all the cheering and the crowd. And woo! Yeah. And when you're at home, you get multi-camera views, you get the color commentary, you get all that other stuff, but you don't get the feel of being at the game, right? Well,
it's people that are actively trying to, pitch one idea or another and win people over. And Jean pointed out, says that caucuses can't be hacked. I don't actually agree with that.
That's
maybe not in a technical way, but they can sure be dicked with.
We saw that. Yeah. We saw that. They can be dicked with Robert's rules.
Yeah. The coin tosses.
Yeah. Remember the coin toss bullshit? Because these caucuses have stupid rules.
6 times until the Hillary won it.
Yeah. That's the other thing, is every caucus has its own fucked up rules from like 1850. And so, it's like, well.
Can't wear your bonnet inside the caucus.
Right.
Your top hat outside.
Females will be allowed with a corset. Curse jar $1. Oh my God, I'd be a millionaire here. I'd be one of the 1% if we had who's donating to that?
Yeah. Anybody want to put money in the curse jar? You're welcome to. The super chat button's right at the bottom of chat.
Right. Or donate.uphillmedia.org. Better to make it a recurring donation, because there will be continued cursing. It's never going to stop.
Was that because I said dicked, or was it something else?
I'm not sure. For fuck's sake, which bad word was it? We only have about 10 minutes left, but I want to address something everybody's saying, and that is asking about the farmers market and our harvest. So, yeah, here's how that works. Lori and I are not capable of getting all that harvest together and putting it together and taking it to the farmer's market and spending the day there and doing all that shit, or even putting it on consignment. And so if there's anybody in the Corvallis, Albany area that would like to take a percentage of the profit, manage the produce, we'll care for the stuff, we'll cut it down, but we need somebody to work with us to put it into containers, or at least move it back and forth between the Albany and Corvallis farmers markets. And then we could thank you for that donation, Laura Leffington, using the super chat so nice for the curse jar, $10.
We fucking love you, Laura.
We use that up in the show. That's if it's $1 a curse.
Oh, shit.
Anyway, seriously, You know, we could make money for UHM. You could put some money in your pocket and you get access to all the produce. And we've got apples and many varieties of apples, many varieties of plums, many varieties of pear, including several Asian pear. We have black mission figs, a lot of those. We have a couple Desert King. We have brown turkey figs. We have
those green figs. What are those green figs you've got?
Those are brown turkey. Well, there's brown turkey and Desert King. There's a couple of them. But yeah.
Ones that stay green, though.
Yeah. When is Bernie's next gig? I do not know. They're kind of doing that. They're back to the your best bet is to go to berniesanders.com or find his website and sign up for his newsletter updates. Mm-hmm. Because that's how I know. They push out a press release. You get it from berniesanders.com. It says Bernie's going to be in this place tomorrow or in the next hour.
It's often just with a couple days view. They don't have necessarily a very long schedule.
He's back on the train. He's back on the. Where are we going next? Ding, 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 ding. Mm-hmm. We're going to be chasing Bernie again. You know. So
yeah,
that's what it is. That's what it is. Oh, his next gig is in 4 hours. So he's doing a double today.
Yeah, he's doing a couple in LA. He's doing the LA run today. So that should be on his Facebook page or his website.
I might be able to find some time.
Let me go look.
Jeff, that would be great. Yeah, I mean, I can crank out the jam. I didn't even make as much jam as I could.
Except you have another event today that we are working
on. Well, no. I'm not talking about that. I was talking with Jeff about the jam and farmers market. Okay. Yeah, I can't do the Bernie thing today because we got the whole other event unless it's like squeezed in there. He's just going to say the same stuff, probably. Yeah. I could make way more jam than I made last year if I had help.
Oh, your jam is so good.
And then we could, sell it locally or whatnot. Sure. Yeah. I'm telling you. Well, no, Zilly Love, I know the local farmers market manager and I know all those people. They're basically, here's what it costs to get a table. Here's where you can put your stuff. Here's the consignment table. Good luck. Man, I need actual people that want to help me, do it. So anyway, we'll figure that out. It's just a possible revenue source for the revolution and whatnot. So say that.
Yeah.
Good to see you. All right. So what's next? We got 6 minutes. What do we want to cover here? Markus.
The Bernie surprise visit ruined 2 segments of mine, but he's Bernie, and so he's allowed, of course. I would like, maybe we should go out with the fun part of it. I would not go into the stupid bullshit of Diane Black and her fantasy about porn and mass shootings. We should not address this. It is stupid. We should go back to the royal wedding. And for those who watched it, and I guess not many of you. Anyway, here is what was happening during the royal wedding and what was really happening.
All right, then. This is a bad lip reading video. Some of these give us copyright issues, but usually they're pretty good.
So, how many animals would you say you've probably killed? You think I've kept count? Absolutely. 1,693 giraffes. You all right? Not yet. Do you need a pen?
Why would I need a pen?
I'm not sure. I think she's brilliant.
Harry and Meghan, who is your favorite Harry Potter character?
Hagrid.
Hagrid.
Not correct. My friends, dog food doesn't feel so gross to the starving man. If you want a hot dog, then you gotta cook a hot dog. What? Put it on the stove. But you won't get enough. You won't get enough. Does it help you to eat this wiener thing? I don't think that it does. You know, I slipped and I fell into a coffin this weekend. No, I didn't. It was just a dream. It was just a dream. There wasn't a coffin. I said, hooray. And do you know what I felt like? Like the best squirrel in the hole. Now let us all try to be the best squirrel in the hole.
Oh, I don't like the air in here. Can you smell it?
It's definitely strange.
I just got a big whiff.
It's pretty bad.
You know, I have a surprise for you.
Okay.
It's a golden unicycle.
I don't want that. That present is a fail.
You've got to learn to glide and glint.
Oh, it's so sad.
I smell a bikini.
You shan't buy a bikini. He shan't buy a bikini. They can't buy a bikini, so sad.
And this is how I dance.
You've got to learn to glide and glint.
I need silence.
You've got to learn to glide like this.
Is it so sad?
No.
I hope you understand we're puppets. I said, I hope you understand that we're puppets. You said we had free will. No, I didn't. That's what you told me.
Oh, that was good. Very good.
Yeah, the royal wedding and what really happened there.
Oh,
And I did not see it, so I don't know what the difference really was. You know, I can't imagine that's a choir.
I didn't watch it either. Oh, I put a link, and I'll do it again. Bernie's next event is with Sean King and Patrice Goulars. It's about justice reform, so it's not going to be about the Disney stuff. So it will be something different.
All right.
And I'm dropping the event, Facebook event, in chat.
Good deal. Good deal. All right. Well, that was freaking hilarious. Nice pick there.
That was good.
Everybody join us for this. Starts at 3. Right? It's to restore some democracy to the Democratic Party. We're going to go out with the intro piece to that, even though it's going to set us late because it's 10:59. But I don't care.
Hey, we did great. We've gone till almost noon.
We did pretty good. That was pretty good. It was well worth it. I was laughing my ass off at the that was hilarious. Everybody remember to be the best squirrel in the hole today.
Yeah.
Okay. I think that's Bernie 2020. Be the best squirrel. that's what we need to be. All right.
Hagrid.
Thank you all.
Hagrid.
Yes, Hagrid.
Hagrid. That present is a fail.
I want to work on the team that makes those.
Yeah.
Forget dealing with democracy and those videos.
Bye, everyone. We'll see you later on. We'll see you tomorrow. Progressive California. See you Tuesday. Well, see you.
Yeah. So this outro piece is you guys have probably all seen it already. This is what we're going to open the event with tonight, or today, this afternoon, whatever the hell it is. So this is just, it's got the Bernie Bird moment from Portland, and it goes out with the McConnell song with a little bit of, trash talk on the DNC in the middle. And it's just a little message to PCPs, precinct committee persons and officers, that you actually have power over the establishment leaders of your party if you wield it together. You must become one. All right. So thank you all for being here, everybody. We will see you later.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
I want every kid in Oregon and Washington and Vermont to understand that if he or she does their schoolwork seriously, does well, takes school. What? Now, you see, This little bird doesn't know it. Oh my. I think there may be some symbolism here.
In 2015, when Bernie Sanders announced his campaign for president, many of us woke up in our democracy.
I know it doesn't look like it, but that bird is really a dove asking us for world peace. No more wars.
His passion was infectious, his energy endless, and we worked together to do the impossible, challenge the establishment, and elect a true representative of the people. We worked hard, fought many battles, and learned a lot about how democracy should be and how it actually works in a corrupt system ruled by greedy billionaires. Ultimately, we lost. Not just the election, but faith in our election process. We saw how the DNC rigged its own primary, lied about it, and continues to put its thumb on the scale for candidates that will do the bidding of corporate interest, not the people. In 2017, despite all the anger, we rallied to elect more progressives in special elections. Lessons learned, we are smarter, more organized, and more determined than ever to clean up our house and make it worthy of the people it serves. The 2018 midterms are here, and we are winning even more. Our Revolution candidates have a 40% win record to date. That's a better win record than the Tea Party had in 2010. This is how you take back your power. This is what democracy looks like. This is what we must continue to do as we prepare for 2020. PCPs are the worker bees of the Dem Party. They have the power to shape the narrative in their neighborhoods. They have the power to affect change one person, one household at a time. They have the power to elect decent party leadership and control those who wish to use their position for personal gain. PCPs are the first line of offense and defense for the Democratic Party. It's time to wield that power and reshape the party into something we're all proud of. A party that walks the talk. Prep for 2020 begins now. Are you ready? The power is in your hands to make your Democratic Party what you want it to be.
I've been lied to, misled, built about what they said, lifted only to be let down. I've been taken for a ride, given power to decide, only to find out I was wrong. But I learned to tell the ones who fake it from the few really fit to run. Just follow the money they've been taking, and the truth will shine like the sun. I'm so tired of lies now, babe. Don't wanna compromise, no way. And I feel the burn for someone who can't be bought, to back the man who's fought for the people of America. Agenda, who's the biggest spender, party personality. Soundbite, get it right, entertain him, it's a fight. Pick the one who most looks like me. Don't speak of any real solutions. It's the shock appeal they're looking for. Don't criticize the institution, but I can't take it anymore. Aren't you tired of life? just tugging at your heartstrings, saying what you want to hear. But they're just a pawn to the real king, playing upon your fear. The love of power is a puppet string, but can't control the love we bring. The fire is out, the hour is down, the tide is set to turn. And I feel the burn to cast aside the chains, salvage what remains.